Jack Ruby!
Here I am!
By golly, I couldn't attend.
Which voices were you responsible for on the Rocky show?
Rocky the Flying Squirrel, and Natasha, who's the no-good Nick, and Little Nell, who loved Dudley, and Horace. Of course, all the fairy godmothers, and the little princesses, and the witches, you know.
Well, how do you go about creating the character? I mean, how do you picture what a voice of a flying squirrel is going to sound like?
Well, it was up to the director and the producer who had the concept of a flying squirrel. He wanted just a plain all-American boy, a little cartoony, not too legit. And so I came up with that, and Jay said, that's fine.
How about a little Daffy Duck?
Why, certainly, you are despicable.
Suffering succotash. Certainly I can sound like Daffy Duck. You're despicable. Why, that's marvelous. What's your name?
Noel Blank.
Noel Blank. Mel's son. Come on, let's join your dad up there, Noel. I want to thank you for all of the happiness you've brought us, Mel, and Noel will be watching for you in the future. But before you go, do you two have any final words for us?
Yes.
That's all, folks.
I'm the voice of Yogi Bear. Yeah, I'm smarter than you ever has been. That's my line.
Yeah. Who said anything about sleeping in a cave with a mosquito? Yeah, I'm smarter than the average bear.
Yogi Bear and Huckleberry Hound are only two of dozens of animated cartoon characters whose lips move when Dawes Butler talks.
I didn't feel that I had any particular talent. I wasn't a good student, really, and it was difficult for me to learn in an academic way. So there were amateur contests springing up on weekends and neighborhood theaters and nightclubs downtown in Chicago. And so I got up the courage to sign up. I had about 3 impersonations I could do. I did develop at an early age the realization that I was being drawn to people with talent. In other words, I could command more. The chameleon part of me was activated more by clever people. I felt more withdrawn with people with whom I couldn't communicate.
Keep away from college boys when you're on a spree. And take good care of yourself. You belong to me. Boop-boop-be-doo.
But it never was really a visually oriented show. It was more the script and character voices.
It was the script.
When you got the first script for the first shows, could you tell how special they were at that point?
We laughed like hell. Right? They were so funny. Well, first we would come in and tell jokes for a half an hour. And then Jay would say, okay, come on, let's get to work. And then we'd read the script through and just fall down because it was so satirically written, so brilliantly written, that we just laughed all the way through.
I hate episodes like this, even though I get the money later, which I probably won't.
We must find a ruse for cooking his goose. So saying, they drove to the White Cliffs of Dover, intending to push our heroes over.
What'd everybody do, get rhyming dictionaries for Christmas?
I think you can tell from the response of that audience they love those voices, 3 of their favorites, but you've done so many, and I'd like to ask you to do a few more.
Oh, I'd love to.
For instance, the Maxwell on the old Jack Benny show. How did that all start?
Well, you know, the sound effects men were supposed to play the sound of a motor on a record.
Uh-huh.
And I saw, just before the cue, I saw they didn't have the electric plug put in the socket.
Yes.
And it came to the cue, and I jumped up to the microphone, and I made like a Maxwell, like this.
One of America's favorite automobiles of all time. And the parrot, Jack Benny's parrot.
Oh, his parrot couldn't come in on cue. So he asked me if I could do it. I said,
Rat! It's cheapskate, it's cheapskate.
You know, I once heard that the Benny writers tried to play a joke on you by deliberately putting something into the script that they didn't think you could handle. Is that true? Did that really happen?
oh, yeah, that's very true. They thought that I couldn't do this. We were visiting Epsom Downs in England, you know, the horse race track.
Yes.
And one of the writers writes in, Mel Blanc does an English horse whinny.
An English horse whinny.
How can you tell the nationality of a horse?
I couldn't.
But I never say no, and waited for the cue, and when the cue came, I did an English horse whinny like this.
I said, will you hold it down? Will you hold it down? Hold it down. Hold it down.
Communication is important to Butler, not only through his voiceovers, but in a workshop he conducts for young people who would like to do what he does so well.
And you don't put your tongue between your teeth.
You don't.
That's why you can't say think. You can't say think, you say tink. I think you're a beautiful girl.
And I thank you.
This is a little deal. It's in a delicatessen, and it's very easily opening. Now, you do number one, I'll do number two, okay?
Okay.
You start.
Anybody at this table?
Don't do it. Oh, that's beautiful. Don't do it quite that broad. Let's do less, not more. All I want is the flavor, the dust on a moth's wing. Okay.
Why are you tisking? You don't like the bagel?
So
Was that was what they call a voiceover?
voiceover. I
Those are the
started all those. I
Those
know
are the
they
best
are.
kind 'cause nobody
Great.
sees
You don't
you.
have to put a girdle on and get dressed and
You've
everything.
got a voice that I would know anywhere, in any part of the world, if I heard that voice, because it carries, but it's so unusual.
I don't know about that.
Weigh it for yourself, honey.
Oh, I usually do, or else, isn't it funny, honey, that everybody says, where are your Scott towels, and do you really think they're heavier? But they are.
And people say that to you? Yeah.
Oh, sure, they say everything. What happened? Someone kissed
No,
me.
there's some. I'll get it.
You! Oh,
Has that been a financial pleasure for you, being Aunt Bluebell?
But, honey, are you making any money? That's all I want to know. Yes.
They're very.
I'm working with lovely people. They're right there. Some of them.
How often do you do that sort of thing? How often do you do commercials?
Oh, we do about 6 or 7 a year, something like that, which takes me away to California, Las Vegas, all the nice places for a vacation. And I do some other things, too.
What's up, Doc? You again. Well, scram. You've already ruined my vacation. Say, you know, I knew I should have made a left turn at Albuquerque. Got a minute, Doc? About this credit card bill.
Don't let it worry you, Skipper. I'm just a crazy, darn fool duck.
You're despicable. Yes, you're despicable and pickable, and you're very definitely despicable. How a person can get so despicable in one lifetime is beyond me. Rabbit season. Duck season. Rabbit season. Duck season. That's no mouse. That's El Gato. Quick, it's El Gato. Run, run. That's what I call a brave pussycat. Yeah! What's the matter, pussycat? You nervous? Yep. Ipa, ándale, ándale, arriba, 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 ipa, ipa, yeehaw!
Boy, that's hard work.
Oh, where is the boy who looks after the sheep?
Don't ask me. I'm a musician myself.
He's under a haystack fast asleep is where, doggone it.
Why'd you call this poem The Horn anyway?
'Cause obviously that's what the little boy blew.
Thanks for the basket. And don't worry, I won't turn you in. They were two of the cutest little old ladies you ever saw, Boop. I guess they, just like bears. Maybe so, Boo-Boo. But I don't think it does a thing for me. Yay!
My sweetheart, I'm sending this token. The record that's broken. I'm really not joking, you see. Oh, the tune sounds silly, I will agree. The words are daffy, but not to me. For there's no doubt it's the way I feel about you.